Hey everyone, Rascal here.
And Mama, welcome to another Paws on Netflix podcast.
Today we're covering the anime Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai. No, I do not!
Now, this slice of life supernatural series covers a strange phenomenon every episode, and we mean every episode.
Yes.
With a group of high schoolers being in the center of it, starting with Puberty Syndrome.
Yes, that seems to be a thing in Japan. And before we start, be sure to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell to get updates on future podcasts and World of Pause videos.
Absolutely. This is one we wanted to see for quite a while. I had seen a lot of stuff about it on Twitter. Told Rascal we've got to see this. And for some reason, it took us months to finish 13 episodes
Yes.
on Netflix. I don't know why. Unfortunately, during the time when we started it, it was subbed. Now there's a dub version.
Yeah.
But we didn't want to go back and watch it dubbed.
Right.
So we just stuck with subbed.
Yeah. So we don't know any of the English voice actors that are featured in it. So if you want to tell us who they are, you can tell us in the comments.
Absolutely. And regardless of watching it subbed, it turned out to be a really good anime. Again, full of lots of strange phenomenon.
Yes.
Things that some of them we've touched on or seen in other anime, and some we'd never heard of. So
yes.
This was a learning experience
Right.
for anime phenomenon.
Yes, and this one, the Puberty Syndrome, seems to be the biggest one of this anime, and it seems to be different depending on the person that has it. Like for the girl that the Bunny Girl Senpai is, and you see just in the very beginning, her name's May.
Mm-hmm.
And her issue is that no one can see her or knows who she is, like she didn't exist. But for some reason, I think Sakuna can see her.
Yes, in her little Playboy bunny outfit.
And I was like, okay then. And it's not really explained why. They can't even explain it. It's just like, you can because we wrote it that way. Pretty much is it.
And of course he falls for her, and of course she falls for him.
Because that's how this works in anime.
Yes, and after a few episodes, he proclaims his love for her
3
publicly,
episodes.
and then everyone can suddenly see her.
Right.
And the phenomenon passes, and they become girlfriend and boyfriend.
Yes, and from that point on, it's them experiencing these other weird supernatural phenomenon with other students. Like they have one episode where a girl splits into 2 different versions of herself because of an event. And usually all these events are occurred by something tragic happening.
Right. And
their minds or bodies can't process it, so it ends up creating a supernatural phenomenon and only a few people know about it.
Mm-hmm.
So as he said, one person gets split into 2 different people, but it's still the same person. They even have
and then May's sister, you find out that they literally hate each other.
Yeah.
And then they end up switching bodies.
Right.
And then her sister doesn't want to go back to her own.
Why?
Because she's jealous of her sister.
Oh, boy.
And here's the thing. May's sister is an idol, which is a performer in Japan. And then May is a supermodel. And
Right.
she's jealous of her. And then, because she's jealous of May, she won't go back in her own body. There were like multiple episodes, and we kept going, are you going to go back? Would you please go back where you belong? We're tired of this arc. We're tired of you being in his body. And we know he's tired because she kept calling him perv. He's like, well, you're in my girlfriend's body.
Right. So it's like,
I don't want to touch you. I can look at you, but I don't want to touch you because you're not my girlfriend, but you're in my girlfriend's body.
Right, and everything will be wrong. Everything will be wrong with that. Right. There's even one where they do the old Groundhog Day type story, but they cause something else entirely, and you have to figure out a person caused it rather than doing some change in your life's events.
And it's yet another girl who asks him to pretend to be her boyfriend.
Yes.
And then when it's time to stop the charade, she doesn't want to.
Right.
And so the day keeps happening because she doesn't want to stop being his pretend girlfriend.
Right.
Because she's fallen for him.
It's like, what? Gosh. And then you also have where the sister has amnesia and she has a totally different personality. Yes, his sister has a totally different personality than what you've seen when you see a flashback because of some tragic happening to her. She has a whole other personality and no memories. Yeah. And from every episode, this goes on. And then for Sakuna himself, we don't know what he has. They said puberty syndrome, but even he's not sure how to fix it. He has scars on his chest as if he's been scratched by a bear.
By a kaiju.
Right.
Kaiju, either a kaiju or a bear.
Yeah, and its scar is still there, and every once in a while it bleeds, but it's never explained what causes it, how he got it. He woke up one day and it was there. And these events start getting so creepy or crazy that they moved out of the house into an apartment away from the parents because the mom,
children, right?
yeah, mom couldn't take it. And I get that this is crazy as heck, but it's kind of weird that they didn't try to figure it out or ask for help or anything. It's something that the doctors there can't explain, so you're kind of stuck with these phenomenons that are unexplainable, and you have to really, I guess it helps you think. You really have to think what could possibly be happening, what's triggering it, what could fix it so this doesn't happen, because there are points where it becomes life-threatening in the show when it takes a really serious turn.
I think the best part is that it's really all together, I should say, a really interesting anime. It's not anything we've seen before. The stories are engaging. The phenomena is fascinating.
Right.
And the characters are likable.
Yeah.
You like May, you like Sakuna. Don't like the girl that wants to pretend his pretend girlfriend.
What? So that's 3 times fast.
Her sister, well, you understand what's going on with her and why she feels that way. So how you feel about her in the beginning is different than how you feel about her by the time the phenomenon is over. Sakuna's sister, as you said, is like 2 totally different people. And you had empathy and liked the version that happened due to the phenomena, but when she gets her memory back and she totally changes, it literally breaks his heart, and he goes through another phenomenon himself because he's built this relationship with her as the second personality, and she adores him and he adores her, and she's stepped out and started doing more things, and they have this great friendship, and it's totally broken once she gets her memory back. And he ends up having nearly a breakdown himself.
Right.
So again, altogether, it's a really good anime. If you want something that you can't quite figure out, that you don't know what's going to happen from episode to episode, that you don't know how it's going to end, and amazingly, it ends pretty slice of lifely.
Yeah.
This is definitely an anime you should watch. And again, the main characters are likable, and you get to see different viewpoints of different characters as you go through each story that happens, and you get to meet more of his friends, more of her family, and it's just really an interesting anime.
Yes, and one thing I want to bring up is that we know we've been talking about the phenomena and the drama and the pretty dark stuff. We do want to tell you there is some comedy in there. There's lots of comedy. There's lots of levity, especially with Sakuna. The main joke is that he's a perv because he likes his girlfriend's body. Yeah, and that's it. And he tells him, like, look, this is how I am. Why are you surprised? I told you.
And she's always shooting him down.
Right. And it's like, but we're together. Why do you keep doing that? And everyone keeps calling me. He's like, look, I told you I was one when we were friends. And there were points when he tries to do things, and like you said, she's like, no. And some dialogue is said that's absolutely hilarious that they share on Twitter and YouTube and things, of hilarious dialogue, and part of it, all we could think of was Hori and Kashima and Nozaki, because Sakuna acts like Kashima will be like when she's with Hori, because it'll be like, can you please calm down for 5 seconds? So he's just like, he has almost no off switch for just about anything he says, and they're just like, could you really say things that this is how I am. This is the answer to everything.
So if you want to see a beautifully animated, fun slice of life movie, slice of life series,
there is a movie, isn't there? Actually, right?
Live action?
No, I think we were told it was an anime movie, I think, right? We could be wrong. Would you let us know in the comments if there is a film?
There's one, too. What's the other one we were watching?
Some other film.
Not Bunny Girl Senpai, of course. It's anime we just finished that has a season 2. That's it's not exclusive, we found out today, but it's on Netflix.
Okay, well, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure at this moment. We're too busy on this. So.
Yeah. So if you want to see something that has some fun, that has a lot of suspense and mystery, beautifully animated, likable main characters, and just really gonna keep your attention, then Bunny Girl Senpai or BGS is the anime for you.
Yes.
It is available exclusively on Netflix.
Right. And I think on Crunchyroll too, right?
No, that's the other one that for some reason our
Okay, now we know. Alright, so yes, and if you haven't already, subscribe for updates and weekly videos on your favorite anime series, animated shows, and all things animation.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, and the anime is Komi Can't Communicate.
Yes.
That does have a horrible live action movie that one day we'll get to review.
Right.
Is Komi on Crunchyroll or is it?
I think that's a Netflix exclusive.
Okay, so then it is Bunny Girl Senpai that is on Crunchyroll. So it's not exclusive to Netflix, but if you have Netflix, you might as well go ahead and watch it on there like we did.
Right. So thank you so much for watching. I'm Rascal Entertainments.
And I'm Mom Entertainments, and be sure to check out more animes that are exclusively on Netflix and some that aren't, but like 7DS or 7 Deadly Sins, that's really good too.
Yes. Have a toontastic day.
Peace.